This Transformers 96 here with another video review. This time we have the Marvel Legends from the Titus Build-A-Figure series Angela figure. So going over the packaging, really love this packaging. I love the fact that they have the background be completely full of color. Really love that. Hope they do that for the Spider-Man as well as Captain America series that are coming up. You've got some great artwork of the character on the side. On the back you get a picture of the figure as well as the rest of the assortment and the Titus Build-A-Figure. I was able to get them all, and I actually I bought two of them on full retail. However, was able to find them online for cheaper from Hasbro.com as well as ToysRUs.com. So I've ordered new ones in, and I'll just return those new ones for that full retail price. So basically, I got this entire series for pretty cheap. I paid $17 for two of them, and then the rest of them I paid $16 for a piece. So can't beat it, and I'll be building that Titus quite soon once they all arrive. But was very excited to find this one. This was a figure that I was very much anticipating. Really, one of the only figures in this wave that I was very excited for. This one and Yondu were the only ones that I had much of an interest in. But this is an excellent looking figure. This has obviously won the fan poll, I think a couple of years ago now. It did take them quite a while to get to the figure, but of course, as promised, they did, and they didn't disappoint. It's a quality figure, and it's really quite unique, which I love. First of all, starting over this face sculpt. The face sculpt is quite nice. The paint in the eyes looks very good. It's very evenly painted, and it looks well done. There's really no smudging, which is nice. The hair, I love. I love the hair. I think it's so cool. I mean, Marvel Legends, sometimes they do some plain hair, but then sometimes they just really knock it out of the park and do extravagant hair. This is one of the most, if not the most, extravagant hair sculpts I have seen from Marvel Legends. Love it. It looks so cool. And you've got an orange coloring scheme with a kind of black or gray wash into it, which just looks excellent. She has armor pieces all over her, which makes this, I would say that this is just about 100% a new sculpt. The only thing that could be reused is the thighs up to the torso. That piece definitely could be reused. I'm not 100% sure though. The legs are certainly new. You've got these very unique armor pieces. This is all sculpted lines. They're not just painted, which is great. And then I love the fact that the armor is this kind of goldish, but it has a bit of an orange flare to it. It's like a shiny copper almost. It's quite neat. And then obviously you have some armor pieces up here. So the top of the torso is definitely a new sculpt as well, and then the arms are just full of completely new and unique pieces of armor, again with all the lining being sculpted, and nothing's painted, which is wonderful. I mean, they could have definitely reused a lot more of these parts and just painted on some of this detail. However, they did decide to fully sculpt everything, which is awesome. You know, it's something that we don't see from Hasbro too often, so I definitely like that quite a bit. She does have this little kind of collar necklace piece. It's a softer rubber plastic. It has these little strands on it, which can be a bit annoying as far as like trying to get them in good positions where they don't look just ridiculous. However, I love the fact that there's so much motion in this figure. I mean, her costume, particularly her hair, and then these little pieces of leather or whatnot, they hang with such motion, so I love it. I mean, you get her in some poses and it really looks like she's going crazy, which is very cool. She has this little this waist piece which is on this belt, which looks quite nice. The buckle is painted silver, of course. It does have the sheath for her sword, and then this little piece of fabric hanging down. It's a soft plastic, and it's white, but it's got a bluish tint to it, which I think looks good as well, so that is nice. The one thing that's annoying is this flies up a lot. Like if you pose her in a position where she's like, you know, she's got like a wide stance or something, this piece comes down so far that when you try to go put her feet flat, it'll just move this thing up. So you do have to be careful to kind of lean it back and make sure that it's not just pointed straight up, or else it just looks ridiculous. Because I did some poses and took some pictures of her, and then once I looked at those pictures after I got her back out of the poses, I realized that was happening, and it just looked ridiculous. I had to just delete them. So definitely be careful on that. It's a bit of an annoying thing, but it is something that is quite small. She comes with several weapons as well, which is very cool. She comes with these like little handheld axe pieces. There's sculpting at the handles on both of them, and they obviously have that same metallic copper, yellowish, gold, orange, whatever you want to call it, type of blades, which looks very cool. And then she has just a sword with that very nice shiny handle piece, and then the silver blade. The only thing that's weird is it's kind of bent, but it's bent in a really weird way that I don't know if it's intentional. Is this supposed to have a bit of a bend to it towards the end, or is that just an issue with the plastic? I'm not 100% sure, but definitely let me know if you guys do, because I don't know if that's a mistake or if that's meant to be. As far as her articulation, it's on par with Marvel Legends. She can look down an incredibly far amount. Her hair obviously does not hinder her range as far as looking down. Looking up, it does hinder it. You really can't go up, even though the joint would allow it. And then she can tilt side to side as well, and then, of course, look side to side. She has ball hinge shoulders, slightly restricted by the shoulder pads. Her shoulders can only go up about that far, but, of course, they can swivel fully. She has hinge swiveling elbows, hinge swiveling wrists. She has a ball-jointed upper torso, which works very nicely. As you can see, you can bend back quite far, and she can bend forward a bit, not insane though. And then of course there is some pivot. I will mention there's a little mark on her side there. It's a very small little detail, but it is something to notice. She has ball jointed thighs, which work quite nicely. They go out this far, which is quite far, as you can see, very far. And then they can really kick up pretty much 90 degrees, pretty perfect. Swivel at the thighs, double hinge knees, which bend completely, and then hinge pivoting ankles. They hinge up very far. They can hinge down very far as well, and then of course full pivots. So excellent ankle articulation. Overall, she has standard Marvel Legends articulation, and but there's really not much that's hindered as well. So her articulation is extremely good, I must admit. Doing a bit of a size comparison, she's very tall as well. Here she is with Gamora, which, I think that these two look very nice together. They're obviously two members of the Guardians. I think they look very cool. She's much taller than Gamora, of course, though. If you compare her to Yondu, as you can see, she's, not including his little mohawk, she is much taller than him. With the mohawk, he might be just slightly taller, but so no matter what, she's very tall. She's taller than your average woman figure, and she's slightly taller than your average male figure as well. So quite a large figure. A lot of it is a new sculpt too, and it's a character that is obviously very much wanted, considering it won the fan poll. So definitely really love this figure. I think that the character is very cool, and she'll look great with your Guardians team. But then the figure itself is executed really nicely. Love the hair sculpt, and I love the fact that they did sculpt a lot of this detail and it isn't just painted. That's definitely a huge plus, and I definitely applaud Hasbro for that. So there you go. That's my very review of the Marvel Legends from the Titus Build-A-Figure series Guardians of the Galaxy Wave Angela figure. Let me know what you guys think of the figure, and thanks so much for watching.